Hello, hi. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for clicking on my video. I appreciate you. We are going to watch this random video I found, and it's called Banned and Controversial Foods. Lately, I've been feeling like the quality of food is disgusting to the point where like eating isn't even fun. I don't even want to eat. So, I'm interested. I have no idea what to expect, but let's just watch it. Why not? What else are we doing? Nothing.
Hey Majors, so I'd like to start off with a little biology lesson. When a species finds itself living on an island, it can start to evolve in strange ways based on the different pressures applied by the new environment. This is called island syndrome, and while it can manifest in a lot of ways, the biggest driving force is often a lack of predators. For example, the dodo lost its ability to fly since there was nothing to flee from. The saint killed a field mouse got twice as big since it no
Huh?
longer had to hide. And with no one around to bully them, the Sardinians started putting maggots in their cheese. Meet kazumarzu, literal translation, rotten cheese. It's made by taking a perfectly good wheel of pecorino and letting a special type of
wait,
fly lay eggs
wait,
in
wait,
it. The
wait, wait,
fly
wait.
babies
You see this video just started, my mouth is wide open. Like he laying it on me right away. Like what? I never even thought about that. Like animals losing their ability because their environment? Did you know that? I did not know that.
then work to partially digest the cheese, rendering it goopy and wet and maybe quite tasty and worm-filled. Now, cheese as a concept is already quite suspect. It's clotted milk that you fill with bacteria and mold and let sit for a while. But cheese is safe and delicious. Cheese is my friend. I trust
Oh,
cheese. So my
dang.
guard would be down around Kazumartsu. I've learned to look past a cheese's childhood. Strange upbringings are what give them their character. But it turns out, those maggots are still alive. And if you don't
I'm crying because we love certain foods, but then when we really get told shit like this, it's like, why are we really eating that? Because it's good. We will really put anything in our mouths.
don't chew well enough, they can cause enteric myiasis, which is a fancy term for fly larvae living in your intestines. Symptoms are similar to food poisoning, except with the added psychic pain of knowing that, again, your bowels are full of squiggly new friends. It's for this
Oh
reason that
my
Kazumartsu is banned in the
Jesus.
EU and elsewhere. A black market still exists, which is wild, and it's not a small one. In 2019, the illicit Kazumartsu trade was estimated to be worth 2 to 3 million euros annually. Personally, I would just do it prohibition style, like definitely don't put these fly eggs on this sumptuous wheel of pecorino, but if you do, you absolutely shouldn't keep it warm and damp for a week. But although it's traditional to leave the larvae alive when you eat your mag and cheese, some consumers still prefer them dead, shockingly. In that case, one puts the cheese in a sealed bag, and when the
This
maggots
nigga
run
just
out of
called me. He's
oxygen, they
funny.
writhe around and fling themselves all over the place. This is heard as a distinct pitter-patter against the walls of the bag, and when the sound stops, the contents are ready to eat, like popcorn. Shark fin soup is one most of us have heard about already, mostly in reference to its effect on shark populations and the
Did
wastefulness
you
that
just say
goes into
shark
making
fin
it. Until
soup?
recently, though, I never looked into the nature of the dish itself. I figured, right, the fins are just the only part of the shark worth eating. Big whoop, it's probably not much different from like swordfish. Apparently, though, I had it backwards. Shark fins aren't even meat. They're made almost entirely of cartilage and collagen. They are the last part we should be eating. That's why it's only made into soup, because without being soaked in broth, it has zero flavor or nutritional value on its own. Their only redeeming quality is
I've
their
never
unique
heard of that.
mouthfeel due to how stringly the collagen grows,
Ew.
in structures called ceratotrichia. The texture has been
Have you ever
described
had
as
shark fin
somewhere
soup?
between chewy and crunchy, which I
No, for
find
real. If
describes
anybody
most
has,
things,
put it in the
actually.
comments.
Other adjectives present on Wikipedia include snappy, gelatinous, and sinewy. The exact sensation of eating this substance remains a mystery to
It
me, and the
looks
unintended side effect of all this
wild
research
texture
is that I
wise.
now really want to try it. Like, it's a big trade. I've got to be the one that's
Oh!
wrong. There is imitation shark fin soup available, but I've already decided that it's not nearly as good. So I've come up with a compromise to this
Why
controversy.
would we make an
Everyone on Earth
imitation
gets just
version of
one
that?
bite. Say there's 10 bites to a fin, 4 fins to a shark, 200 million sharks die, sure, a necessary casualty, but then we can end the practice forever. All done. You can finally rest, Mr. Ming. Come here, baby. Aw. Aki.
Eh.
What? Aki. Where? Aki. The aki is a fruit originally from West Africa, which is most commonly associated with Jamaican cuisine, where it appears in such dishes as aki and saltfish. These alien kidneys here are called the arils, and they're the only part of the fruit that's actually eaten. The flavor is on the
Why does
savory
that
side,
literally
being
do
described as
look
kind of
like that?
nutty or bean-like. What makes the aki controversial, though, is the effects it can cause when prepared improperly. If the arils are allowed to completely ripen, they're harmless, but if you eat them too early, or don't thoroughly clean off all the non-aril stuff, they can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness. This disease doesn't sound real, it sounds like it belongs next to Eastern sweats and Tangerian bone grindings, but that's actually an official term, and as for symptoms, it does what it says on the tin. Plus maybe death. While aki-based products
What?
aren't outright illegal in the United States, they are very tightly regulated, and the raw fruit itself cannot be imported. So if you're American and want to try it, your options are fully cooked canned ackee or going to Florida where a few people grow it domestically. Next we have bird's nest soup. This is another one that I've vaguely heard of, and for years I just assumed the name was a playful
I am
metaphor like
shook.
ants on a
Like, I've
log or
never
shit on
heard
a
of
shingle.
this.
Turns out, nope, this dish contains an actual bird nest, not like a pile of twigs like I
No.
was picturing, but rather a
Little
specific type of
eggs?
nest only made by certain species of swiftlets. These nests are mostly made out of mucins, which are a set of proteins that, among other things, serve to thicken all those wonderful secretions our bodies make. There's a little bit in human saliva, a little bit more in mucus, and in swiftlet saliva, look out, pal. So all the swiftlet does is it finds a nice wall, starts
I
laying
feel a
out
little
fat strings of
disturbed watching
slobber,
this
witch
video.
dry, and eventually she's got a nice place to roost. That is, right up until some gourmand says, "Today I crave bird spit. You can keep the eggs though." And they then reconstitute it back into its original gelatinous
Who's
texture.
eating this
Unfortunately, these
stuff
nests can't
though?
enter the US, since, believe it or not, eating bird saliva is a great way to
Like
catch
in other
bird flu. And
countries?
now the time has come to speak of the ortolan. The ortolan is a kind of bunting, which is a sort of passerine, which is a type of bird.
I'm like, what are these
They're
words?
birds. Like many animals, they have a long history of being eaten by the French. But what separates the ortolan from your average squab or pheasant is the unique way in which it is prepared and eaten. They're typically caught with nets and kept in the dark, which causes them to overeat for some reason. Once it's about twice as fat, the entire bird is then thrown into a container of brandy, alive, and sealed in. While this serves to marinate the creature, it
That is disturbing.
also drowns in the process, thereby killing one bird with no stones. The ortolan is then roasted, plucked, and presented whole to the consumer, who inserts the carcass into their mouth, feet first. As they chew, one hand continues holding the bird's head, while the other picks out the larger bones. This whole ritual is usually performed with a towel or large napkin over one's head. There's a few explanations for the purpose of the towel. Some say it's just there to keep the aromas in, while others say it's there to, quote, shield from God's eyes the shame of such a decadent and disgraceful act. Yeah, this one I'm okay with not trying, actually. Notable fans of this dish include, not joking, Bill Cosby and the guy who invented the lobotomy. To be part of that social club. Our mission is to eat birds whole and then make people not remember things. Killing ortolans was banned across the EU in 2007, not for any ethical reason, but because French people did this so
I feel
much
like
that
my
the
face
entire
this whole
ortolan
video has
population
just
was
been like
threatened. Thankfully, as of 2018, their
shocked.
conservation status is under least concern, so hopefully the French can get back to it soon. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you
Oh,
for watching.
that's all he has for today? Oh, God.
This video is
What did I just watch? What did we just watch? I don't even have anything to say. Only thing I have to say is thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye. That's disturbing.